Stella Okorigbo as she presents her 5 policy statement. Then somebody online. Recovery Manager Abimbola Adeniyi, are you ready? Recovery Manager Olabisi Oni, are you ready for us? So the next voice you hear is the voice of Recovery Manager Stella Okorigbo. Please welcome her to the show. Yes.
Thank you very much, Doctor. As a recovery manager, I will follow these 5 policies. Number 1, I will work within my competence, collaborate with other professionals. In other words, there will be integrity when working with others. Number 2, I'll show compassion without supporting behavior that sustains addiction. In other words, I'm not going to enable the client to continue taking substance. Number 3, I will maintain healthy boundaries policy. Number 4, I will identify risk factors and early warning signs that will help to prevent relapse. In other words, there will be that relapse prevention policy. And number 5, I will meet the client where they are. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Recovery Manager Stella Okorigbo. Now, which of you online will want to share your 5 policy statement? We need to hear at least one person to be sure you are flowing with us. Their statement of fact as a professional that you are going to embrace in the field of service. I want to raise this thing up. Even his books. So, Recovery Manager Abimbola Adeniyi, can you unmute and tell us why Recovery Manager Oladimeji begins to warm up? Over to you.
Yes, I'm Recovery Manager Abimbola Adeniyi.
Thank you very
My
much.
policy statements are: I will not take on more commitments than I can have the energy to cope with.
Wow.
In order for my performance to be up to the expectable standard, not to put off clients feeling that I'm lazy or incompetent. The second one here is I'll be very compassionate. I'll encourage clients by being very compassionate, on the other hand, very tolerant, and also empathic. And I'll give room for phase changes during recovery. I wouldn't expect it to be faster than they can cope with. Then the third one here is not taking on roles I'm not competent enough to handle. So I'll
Wow.
engage in making use of referrals. Then being the fifth one here, being vigilant enough to notice warning signs and avoid danger by staying away from environments that are risky. Thank you, sir, and the whole house.
Thank you so very much. Recovery Manager Oluwakemi Oladimeji, what do you have to say?
Good
While
morning,
Recovery
sir.
Manager Olufunsho Owasanoye, we will hear her voice too. Yes, over to you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Dr. Kamalafe. Good morning, everyone.
Good
I'm glad to
morning,
be in the
RM.
house. My personal policies would include number one, confidentiality and non-disclosure. I'll make sure whatever is told me in confidence stays private. I won't disclose to a third party unless maybe family members that are also involved in the recovery process of the client. Number two is dignity. I'll treat all patients with dignity, regardless of their state or condition. I'll be empathetic enough to carry them along through the stage of recovery. Then the third policy would be understanding the risk factor, making sure I stay safe, and at the same time not totally abandoning the clients. If they need further help, I can engage the services of core professionals to take up from where my limit ends. Then the fourth one would be not taking more than I can do part-time. If I'm not competent in an area, I won't take up that particular case. I would rather refer to the office for another core professional to take up the case. Then the fifth would be passion, being passionate about the whole process, not to put money ahead of compassion and passion for the job. I really love the patient to be well, to recover fully, regardless of the money involved. Although the money is also important, but passion first. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Please, like she said, cases you cannot handle. In fact, don't wait. We're going to make it a rule. You won't wait until it goes out of hand before you refer. And that's why we are going to do peer mechanism when we get to the field. I hope you know we are closer to the field now, so that you can cross-read ideas, cross-pollinate. And then there's nothing bad in second option. Doctors do it a huge lot. We're going to work as a team where the carpenter is encouraging the goldsmith and the one that smites with the anvil saying it is ready for soldering. Varieties, but one goal. And when recovery manager Oladimeji Kemi says she will refer to expert, she's not saying expert outside of GROMS. Your first point of reference, Jennifer Oje, recovery manager, is not elsewhere, it's inside. We have the facility inside. Tony, everything you need for recovery management, we have it by the grace of God. So confer, find out. Mama Olufunsho Owasanoye, over to you, ma. Are you in class? Okay, Mama is not in class. Who is in class? Recovery manager Lorraine Oswem, are you here?
I'm in class, sir.
Okay, so Mama, tell us.
Yes, sir.
Recovery manager Olabisi Oni, tell us your 5 policy statement.
I'm in class,
My
Daddy.
number 5 policy statement is that I'll be compassionate.
Compassion.
I'll be very compassionate. Integrity is also very important for me, especially when collaborating with others. There must a sense of integrity must be maintained.
Okay.
Also, I will not on more than I can chew. There are other professionals around who can help. If I see that what is before me is not within my competence, I can either refer or call in another recovery manager to help. That's number 3. Then boundaries must be maintained. Professionalism must come in. Boundaries are maintained. You don't mix up your emotions with that of your clients. There must be boundaries, professionalism. Also, I will put in place how referrals can be done, because I do not know it all. Referrals can be done. Recovery managers seems to be at the end of the tail of the chain of recovery from detoxification. But if there are relapses, I will need to refer. It's from my end, I will know that there are relapses and then refer back to other professionals. I wanted to say praise the Lord. That's number
Thank
4.
you,
Number
Pastor.
5, I need to also respect my clients, not discriminating, not putting labels, not discriminating, not putting labels. Just see them as who they are, be compassionate with who they are. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I think those are the 5.
Empathizing. That's empathy. Thank you very much.
Hello.
We've had the yes. We heard you, man. You have more to say?
No,
Okay.
I've said even more than 5 now.
Yes, she has said more than 5 and even told us to praise the Lord. And some of us are shouting hallelujah already. So,
Yes, sir.
very vital.
Yes, sir.
Recovery manager Tony Praise, are you here? Recovery manager Lufunshaw says network is bad, but you can write it. Have you written already? Okay, are you saying something? Okay. Now, let me take us on today's topic in a jiffy. It is session 4, substance use and behavioral pattern.
Okay.
Know the person before managing recovery. Now, I told us to draw up our personal policy statements. They are the personal ethics that guides us in the rule of behavior, what we do, what we don't do. Very vital. They are things, the art and science over what we do and what we don't do in the field. Your personal codes and ethics. And that is the sign of a professional where you can be in charge and in session. Because you are going to meet the good, the bad, and the ugly on the field. As a recovery manager, you need to have some certain things that guide you so that you will be above board as you correspond and converge so that you can correlate. You correspond, you converge in order to what? Correlate with issues. So, very vital. Now, what do we do? Knowing yourself and taking position will help you take possession of your client, because you already give yourself a gap and a guide. You are mounting your goalpost, and then you want to score goals from your client. So very vital. What do? You now can face your client. So number one, your client have used substance. You don't expect his behavior to be the same as his ordinary person when he is not doing drugs. So expect anything. In those days when we're learning to drive, you know what they told us? See the person commuting ahead of you as what? A mad person who can suddenly match brake because he's thinking. So what do? You give a gap. So your capacity to give a gap and to expect anything. So that where you need to match brake, you match brake. Where you need to sub-pedal, you sub-pedal. Where you need to throttle, you throttle. So when you are in charge of yourself, then you can take charge of others as recovery managers. So your emotion is so critical in the field. If your emotion is not packaged at home, you cannot manage in the field. Recovery managers, online, off-site, on-site, your emotion must be what? Packaged at home so that you can what? Manage in the field. Otherwise, you will cause what? Damage. We must package to manage in order to avoid damage. As we do what? Check up from where? Neck up, to be sure we're good neck down, so that we can be great how? Leg forward. So every recovery manager in the house, do your hand this way and say, from today, I will always learn to package, to manage. Sorry, is this microphone in my hand? Because we do it with the two hands. So assume my other hand is also by my side. Say, from today forward,
From today
I will
forward,
always package
I will always package
in order to avoid damage.
In
As
order
I
to
check
avoid
up,
from my
from the
neck up,
neck up,
from the head
so
up,
that I can be good neck down.
so that I can be
And
whole
when I
neck
am
down.
good neck down,
When I am whole
I'll
neck
be
down,
great leg forward.
I'll be great leg down.
Recovery manager, love.
So we have passing spoken she tried to very this so this is very she always offer I always keep one for us in general this require online guys are Shiba, Jim, Teddy, and so these people are
And then you say anything. Looking up something.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Am I being heard now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you so very much. So, but for the network, so when you understand yourself so well, then you can begin to track and trace your client who comes to you with a particular behavior. If you don't understand, then you might be tempted to fight. To say, but my sister, you were not like this yesterday. What happened to you? Please leave the person, treat the issue. Very vital for every recovery manager. Leave the person out of it. Handle the issue. Don't say, madam, what you did, don't you know is bad? You are a bad person. Then you are turning the field to a war zone and drama zone. So know the person before managing the recovery. And the best way to know the person is to know yourself first and be prepared to meet any case in the field. So the first question is, why do people use substances? You need to know so that you don't speak off point as a recovery manager. People use substances for different reasons, such as pleasure, or I just want to feel high. And it's because they want to feel high, that's why they are doing substances. Some for curiosity. My friend is doing it, and they say it's good. It gives you strength and energy. Let me also do it. Some for stress relief. I'm stressed. I'm worked up. Therefore, let me help myself. Let me come up small. Little do they realize that coming up small will bring you down big later. Anything you do to aid yourself, by trial and error, will always backfire. Anybody. And then some for peer influence. Some coping with problems, or some to escape emotional pain. Something just happened, I don't want to feel it now. So you take something. What we're saying is that no matter what you take, once it is a psychoactive substance, is going to backfire at a later time. So know this. So find out from your client the reason why you went into drugs. So don't mind me. I just felt like, why will I be different? See everyone around. Can you see their swag? I'm the only one not having swag. And then they swag themselves off cause. So find out the root cause. That is what we call root cause analysis. Please, recovery manager, don't handle anybody who is into substance abuse, drug addiction, without finding out why. You know the what? Substance abuse. What do you find out? The why. So that you can be on point. 2, what are the risk factors? You have people say risk factor. Recovery manager Jennifer Oje came out and mentioned risk factors. So what are risk factors? Risk factors are things that increase a person's chances of using substance. That's the risk factors. Oh, I'm in the midst of my friends. Oh, in this family, they don't really see anything bad about it. Those are risk factors. such as family history, poor support, trauma, stress, poverty, peer pressure, and easy access to substance. They are all risk factors. Anything that can steer you around is a risk factor. Don't joke with it. So find out what are the risk factors. I would have stopped doing it, but for that's a risk factor. I would have stopped. In fact, I stopped at a point, but so that's a risk factor. So find out what's the risk factor. Why is this person stopping and going back and stopping and relapsing? We need to know. Is it because he has easy access to the substance, or because he has friends around, or he lives in a convoluted family setup where things are not working and he will need to help himself? Because according to him, heaven does what? Help those who help themselves. So very vital. Then question number 3. What are behavioral patterns? You need to know. Because what you are treating is stemming out of a pattern of behavior. Can you see it now? Why surface counseling will not handle addiction? Or you start giving motivation. Say, I am okay. Shake your head 50 times. I am okay. 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 By the time he finishes shaking his head and neck is paining him, you will have another job in your hand. So motivational speaking is not the same thing as interventional releases. As a recovery manager, you are for intervention, even when you go through the gate of motivation. Hear me very clearly now. You are for what? Intervention. If motivation will give you the key to entry, then open it through motivation, but don't stop at motivation. Otherwise, you are a what? Quack. And we don't want quackery here. That's why this training is so important. So what are the behavioral patterns? Behavioral patterns are repeated ways a person thinks, feels, and acts before, during, and after substance use. That's why in the place of therapy, we design our form to show us who they were before they met drugs or before drug met them. Now, who are they now? What is the pattern of behavior? He has not really changed, except that he has started stealing small. You know, parents will want to paint it very, very slightly. This boy just began to misbehave, right? Doctor, can you help us? See, he's doing some little things we don't like. That's the boy that sold a car to go and smoke. He's selling a car little. He's beginning to go out at night and he comes back drunk. Just little. So examine the behavioral pattern. What it was before and what it is now, so that you can determine the degree of violation. It was defined before and is good, straight on. Now he is veering off. What does it create? Violation between his defined self and his fixed self. Is a what? Violation. He violates himself, his lifestyle protocol, his personal principle. And between definition and violation, what do we have? Gap analysis. So when you are doing diagnosis and you want to look for gap analysis anywhere, what are the two things you check, Jennifer? The definition, where he was straight, and then what? The point of violation, where he deviated. Remember, man is the good definition, the bad bad. Violation where he veers off. It's not the same as deviation. All is going that way. You now say he's what? Where he takes manager, know this one very well. Otherwise, you will be doing what we call mistaken identity in the field of recovery. And that is a stage for relapse. Relapse look for gaps, either from the professional or from the professional, from the recovery, or the one doing recovery management. So, know the pattern of behavior. That this guy, who was he when he was his defined self? The good, the bad self, the what? And the ugly self. The bad self is the violated self, where he veered off of his original. That's violation. And you see, what is the cause of violent behavior outside? As soon as he veers off from his original, what happens? There is a gap between his original and this fake person. That things will now feel it, some certain behavior. Once they feel it on the outside, what does he do? He begins to do violence. Do you get it? So what is violence? When an individual who goes into substance abuse begins to defile himself with drugs, he shifts from his original pattern of behavior into a strange one that is not part of his lifestyle protocol. He veers off. And the more he does it, what happens? The more he violates himself. And what happens eventually? He becomes deviated. So what kind of behavior do you find? Deviant behavior. Why is the behavior deviant? Because inside him, he has created a gap between his original person and fake person. And in life, there's no vacuum. Things will now start feeling it. And whatever feels a man's to him, those things begin to speak to you and divert you into. So please, behavioral patterns are repeated ways during. Some will tell you, well, since I've been taking this thing, it has only changed my behavior. I'm still myself. It's accumulating. Whatever you accommodate in therapy, what happens? It accumulates. There are some certain psychoactive substances that does not change your behavior immediately, but they will need you to take them to some certain quantum, and then they get rooted inside before they start shooting out. That is what parents see, and they say, my son just began drug. My son just relapsed. No, relapse is a journey. Can we say relapse is a journey? Not an event. It begins the journey inside and start taking root where? Inside, before it shoots out outside. Any relapse symptom you see outside is because it has been rooted where? Inside. Will you ever see a step standing without having root? So in root cause analysis, please know that the individual takes off a cause that is different from his own date and root. And before you know it, he misbehaves. One who does addiction, so why are you misbehaving? Can't you see your brother? Learn from your brother. You are a quack with your compassion. Practicing what? Quackery. Can't you see? That's not empathy. It is called what? Sympathy. So very vital. When you don't know this difference as a recovery manager, you will even misbehave. And what relapse want is for anybody to misbehave, either from the balcony or from the dance floor. Either from the practitioner or the one who needs recovery. He is looking and walking up and down like a roaring lion, looking for what? Whom to devour. But as a recovery manager, what you do? You resist steadfast with knowledge, knowing that your other recovery managers are going through the same thing. Am I speaking something here? So please know that behavioral pattern will change. Don't be deceived. They will tell you, I've taken drugs for 14 years. I'm seeing my character. It's a lie. It's not his character. He is in his bad and what? Ugly state. And they can hide it. And that's why most of the time they live in denials. They live in what? Denials. So, doctor, how can I track denial? Very simple. By their fruit, by their, we shall know them. Then press the individual. If I have a bottle water here, everybody can you see what is in my hand? Bottle water. If I apply pressure from outside and I remove the lid, what will happen? The water will spill out. Why will the water come out? Because it is inside and I apply pressure on the outside. So you see me, I could be very gentle. My anger has disappeared. Mistakenly, quote and unquote, press the leg unconsciously when she's unconscious. You see, pick your stick, pick your stick. Why are you doing this? Don't you advise? Then you will know that she still has a trace on the inside. So, very important. Expect a behavioral pattern that is not straightforward. And don't blame your client. When your client misbehaves in the field, don't say you see yourself, you see you, despite all my attempt, you mean you don't respect me? Please, when you are doing this work, keep respect behind and serve. Very vital. How does the environment influence substance use? A person may be influenced by an environment where substances are easily available, commonly used, accepted, or encouraged. When parents tell me, see this boy who grew up under our nose, we read Bible all through to him, just to go to Canada, 2 weeks. Our boy started dealing in drugs. Yes, environment can be so loaded. If it's emotional construct is not strong and you don't test it before sending away, then you are sending them to trouble. It's no longer how long they stay under your roof, but how well. Parents, don't say I trust my daughter. She will cope. What emotional strength has she gotten? Very vital. As a prayer warrior. Prayer warrior can end up marrying a herbalist if care is not taken. Emotion is critical. So, please find out the environment. Internal environment and what? External environment. What is the internal environment of your client? How he thinks, how he feels, how he reasons. What is the external environment? And his surrounding, the ecosystem, his street, the people around his network. Because your network is your what? Net worth. Either good, bad, or ugly. Say after me, recovery managers, my network is my network.
It's my net
I am
worth.
not greater
I am not greater
I
than
am
my
more
network.
greater
The people I network with determines my net worth. So
my
help me.
net worth. So help me
You
God.
can't tell me you hate thieving, stealing, yet your best friend just rob a bank. And so guy had now, and he's your best friend. You hate Gary so well, God, but the water on top, God, you fall in love with it. You can't say that. So, question number 5. How does peer influence affect substance use? Friends and social groups can encourage a person to start using substances, continue using them, or stop using them. That's why, as recovery managers, we don't release anybody to go home from the rehabs without finding out what their immediate environment looks like. Who are their friends? There are some we have canceled and they will tell us, Doctor, I'm relocating to Maiduguri. I'm going to Kano, where I don't have much people who know me there. Don't say, no, don't go there. They say, once they see me around, they will influence me. I don't want to return to that place. Parents, very vital. Find out. Let them speak up and what? And out. So, friends and social groups matters a huge lot. We grow among friends. I remember in those days, some of the bad character I took them from my friends. I took hemp before one time. But when I saw a man passing and they said it was hemp he took, and he said forever. When I wanted to take it, my mind was saying, James, what if this thing turn your head? See one mad person passing and they just pointed that it was hemp he took. Since that day, am I taking hemp now? Don't look at me anyhow and say, even doctor took hemp before. We try so many things. Peer pressure could be so strong. You want Shola to tell you his own story?
This man.
Somebody say he's a saint. Even Jennifer Oje here says she was not that a saint. Just leave recovery manager Stella Okorigbo alone. She was born a saint. Dr. Kemi Akimusire, are you flowing with us? We tried some things. How? Was it that we didn't come from a good home? We did. But peer pressure, they call you by design and say, Swegbe, have I take your, now only you be disciplined. Now only you they read Bible. So, peer pressure could be so strong. So that's why in the field of recovery, find out who are his friends. Online, offline, and how? On site. Don't disparage that too and say, well, the Adubo is clean. Everybody, they seems to have gone to school. How about the school inside him? Through phone. So very vital. Please don't try. Don't say, if doctor tried before, even me, let me try now. It may be just one. God forbid. So don't try. Friends and social group, we need to be careful. How does family influence substance use? Now, why am I showing you all this? So that you will know the geography and the economics and the history around drug-related individual. That's why I'm showing you all this. So that when you are on the field and you are doing psychosocial counseling and you want to do mental health intervention, behavioral health intervention, or recovery management intervention, you will know the ecosystem of discussion. If you understand me, say I. Very vital. You need to know the ecosystem. So that you don't blow up point and they say this woman is a professional. Family relationship, parenting, communication, conflict, neglect, support, and family attitudes towards substances can influence a person's behavior. Very pivotal. We are who we are from home, from families. We all have a root. There is no shoot without what? A root. So please, that's why recovery management will take care of the home front while the guy is at the rehab center. So that it doesn't come back to that same convoluted place, same room, same place. We ensure that parents are also going through recovery management. Very vital. And that's why we advocated that as we book the child, we are also booking who? The parents. Are we bringing the parents to the rehab? No. But they will show up once a month for psycho education. Very vital. So, attitude towards substance can be influenced by person's behavior and support from home or the lack of it. And then don't let your boy come back from rehab and you are then looking at him as a second-class citizen or beating him and say, sorry, John, sorry, don't worry, you will recover soon. And you give John car key and you give him money to just go and buy anything. Then you are writing application letter to what? Mr. Relapse. 7. What are the psychological vulnerabilities? What are vulnerabilities you need to know and understand? What are the psychological vulnerabilities? They are emotional and mental difficulties that may make a person more likely to depend on substances to cope. We call it what? Psychological vulnerabilities. Anything psychological is telling you about two things. 1, emotion. 2, mental. When the two joins together, it becomes psychological. So when somebody does drug, he has psychoactive challenges. His emotion and mentality are the first to be hit. Not even his physique. You can see the backlash on the physique, but the first thing that is convoluted and contaminated is his emotion. And then it will settle on his brain, mentality. Such a person can start talking and talking and talking. Do you have people who cannot cease from talking, whether there's microphone or not? And they will just talk and talk and talk and talk. That is a contaminated emotion. That vibrant energy for conversation, communication, and interaction. Interface for an intervention. So please notice well that there are what? Psychological vulnerability. Find out. Is his emotion contaminated? Does he talk before? Does he goes into withdrawal? Has he increased his withdrawal symptom now? No. Has he increased his capacity to stay out of drugs? You need to know all of that. What is going to make him to likely going to depend on drugs? You need to find out. Then number 8, what are social pressures? These are all issues around somebody who is into substance abuse, or which if you don't know, you just treat one thing and say, go, God will help you. Be a prayerful person, pray until something happens. Push. Have you had such sentences? Pray until something happens. But when you pray and nothing happens, and something don't happen, There are so many things you need to know in the psychosocial space of one who is doing drugs. And that's why I'm taking my time to tell you one after each, so that you stop motivational counseling on the surface. You counsel us in the house. I'm not talking to recovery manager Bimbola Adedi. She's a good counselor. So, very vital. Please know the vulnerabilities. What is he vulnerable to? Some cannot withstand some particular issues around them. It spins their mind, then don't bring them into it. Some, their emotion can easily shift. Just seeing somebody, whatever that person says, he wants to do it first before thinking otherwise. That makes him vulnerable. So check their vulnerabilities, even while they are going through treatment and after treatment, when they come to you. So as a professional, you have your jotter. You are taking and checking these things. Okay, how did they begin? Who are his friends? How is the family? And then what impact has he made on him? Who was he before drugs? Now that he's into drugs, what are the deviant behaviors he's manifesting? And then what was his point of violation? Those are all the things I look for before I get result to. But when you don't look at this thing and you just fit it, and then when clients come to you because they know your faith, and they say you are even a pastor, please be praying for us. So yes, ask that. Yes, you'll be praying for them, but let them go through what? Therapy. Therapy is very vital. Therapy is very critical. Let them go through it. And that's why in recovery management, we're trusting that a time will come, we'll go to the clergy and sit them down, train them, and certify them as recovery managers, because the best place where you can get people in all their demography is in the church. It's in the religious circle. You'll find them adult, you'll find the adolescent, you'll find all kinds of people that they just laminate faith on them to just believe God. Yes, they should believe God necessarily, but sufficiently, we need to take people through therapy. Many are going through stress and pressure and are becoming vulnerable. And so what do you do in order to just aid themselves is to do drugs. And they said this stress is too much. So they want to cope. They are not talking out. Then question number 8. What are social pressures? Because you've been using all these languages and finding out. Where you don't find out these languages and use them, then you will lack what to do. You will be stranded in the midst of recovery. You say, doctor, are these things not related to people who handle detoxification? Yes and no. It's related to them and also related to you, so that you can see some residue still in them and help them out. What are social pressures? Social pressures are expectations from friends, family, work, society, or social group that may push a person towards substance use. Do you know, wherever your attention goes, there your energy flows? It's a rule in the school of attraction. So if they are mounting pressure on you from the outside to just do it, you may not yield the first time, the second time, the third time, but with continuous insistence, what happens? The will becomes what? Weakened. And when the will of a man is weakened, what he said he will not do before, what will he do? He will do it. You see, I'm under pressure. I didn't really want to do it. I was forced to do it. So, social pressure, find out. A family that doesn't even see anything bad in taking alcohol, and yet they have a boy who is into addiction. They may just say, well, children of these days, You can't take it away from them. With time, they will grow out of it until the boy is 6 months and 6 in rehab facility. He didn't grow out of it. Addiction is not something you say people will grow out of. Character, people can grow out of it. Bad character. Habit, 50-50. Addiction, there's nothing like growing out of it. In fact, you grow more into it. So, recovery managers know all this. No. And thoughts. You need to know. What is habit formation? Because in recovery management, you need to help your client to form his habit. Habit formation happens when repeated substance use become a regular behavior that the person begins to perform automatically or find it difficult to stop. Habit formation. Hey, my boy told us, you won't believe it, that he started drugs last week. And he's telling the parents. It's a good news, it's also a bad news. Say why. Say how. People online, are you with us? They are no more with us.
Yes, I am.
People online?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. I need another witness. People online, are you with us? Okay. So, habit formation matters a huge lot. What is habit formation? When the guy repeats the thing over and over, you must know there's a trigger somewhere. You must know that something somewhere is responsible. Find out. It doesn't become a habit until it's repeated the first time, the second time, the fourth time, the fifth time, the sixth time, and the seventh time. Once the person does it 7 times, what is it called? Habit. It has become a habit. Habit dies hard. And that power of repetition will now gain what we call resonance, behavioral resonance. He will now start doing it. Even when he forgets to do it, that thing will remind him and say, you have not taken it. We are going to do it now so that you can be okay. You know you are not complete again until you take it. And when it happens over and over, that the boy can no longer do without it, what is it called? Addiction. So can you see the difference between habit and what? Addiction. In habit, you can still control it. You can still coordinate. Your will is not captured. But once the will is captured and you can no longer free yourself without obeying that impulses, it is called what? Addiction. So can we wish addiction away? And to say as the boy grows, he will grow out of it. 1 + 1 today is what? 2. In 10,000 years' time, 1 + 1 will be equal to what? 3.
Triggers could be, seeing an old friend, like Pastor said,
Sorry?
going to visit, yes, peer pressure,
Yes. So as we round up to this class,
fitness, feeling rigid. Yeah, that's why I said that. Yeah, no, those are triggers. They are triggers. Read sometimes.
so where did we stop?
It said the difference between factors and triggers.
Not online. So online, we're talking about dependency factor that you need to check: the behavioral pattern, the environment, and then the social influence, peer pressure, and then family influence, psychological vulnerabilities, and then habit formation. Can be the good habit, the bad habit, and the what? Ugly habits. And then finally, dependency patterns. Oh, I can't do without it. It has become my second nature. If I don't drink, I cannot drive. And government says when you drink, don't drive. But he says what? If I don't drink. So who is right? So very vital. Dependency patterns occur when a person increasingly relies on the substance and find it difficult to function normally, or find it difficult to stop using it. Key recovery management principle. 1, do not manage the substance alone. Know the person, understand the pattern, discover the cause, and then design recovery around the individual. And that's what we have done today. So any question, now you know how to approach somebody who is into drugs, who has even recovered or not yet recovered. So when you meet them and they are coming out of rehab, these are the things you need to find out around them, within them and outside of them, as to be able to build a new ecosystem for recovery management. Where you know this and put structures in place, then you are a recovery manager in whose life there's no guile. And because there's no guile, will there be relapses? No relapse. Thank you so very much. 1 or 2 questions before we call it a day. Tomorrow we start at 11. Sorry we couldn't start early, and the network too contributed, but we have delivered today's stuff. Tomorrow is another huge one, and these lessons are very pivotal. You can go to the YouTube and watch over and over and over and make your notes. You know why you need to make notes? So that you can assimilate. It can be part and parcel of you that you are a professional. Any question in the house, online? 1 or 2 questions? Yes, Madam Stella? You have a question? Okay. Recovery managers, do we have questions to ask? Gestating question. Issues we have faced. A particular drug case, related case. So we are going to put a halt here today. Take your assignment for this class. 1, what are the 7 critical issues around substance abuse you need to profile as a recovery manager? 7 critical issues you need to profile in order to handle an individual who is just out of substance abuse or in substance abuse.
So you just changed the question.
What are the 7 critical variables you are looking for in a substance abuse case as a recovery manager? Substance abuse, 7 critical issues or variables you are checking to be able to manage that crisis. That's what we've just done now. Okay, doctor, I'll check for this. I found out about this. I found out about this. I'll make sure so is this. I'll also find out about this. so that it can guide what I say, how I say it, and do it, and to have results. Anytime you have result, what have you just given to relapse? A dirty slap. But when you don't have result, what have you done to relapse? You have waved to relapse and said, come, there's a gap here. Relapses thrives on what? Gap. Either at the balcony or where? In the dance floor. Any other question? So that is your first question. What are the 7 issues around addiction management as a recovery manager? And then 2, what is the ecosystem fit and fine at the home front for one in recovery? What is the ecosystem fit and fine at the home front of the one in recovery? So tell me what the ecosystem is. Internal and external, and then surrounding. And how do they correlate in the art and science of what? Recovery management. Thank you so very much, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the session, sir.
Thank you.